The Philadelphia Eagles continued their impressive run so far this season with a dominant 37-20 victory over the Los Angeles Rams, extending their winning streak to 7 games and solidifying their position as one of the top contenders in the NFC. This win, which improved their record to 9-2, was a showcase of the Eagles' strengths on both sides of the ball and highlighted the depth and versatility of their roster. And then of course, their standout star in Saquon Barkley is really making the Giants regret every decision they made this offseason. Barkley put on a historic performance that will be remembered for years to come. He rushed for an Eagles franchise record 255 yards, including 2 explosive touchdown runs of 70 and 72 yards in the second half. His 255-yard performance ranks as the 9th most rushing yards in a single game in NFL history, and set a new record for the most rushing yards ever against the Rams as a franchise. Barkley's ability to break tackles and exploit gaps in the defense was on full display, as he averaged an astounding 9.8 yards per carry. What makes Barkley's performance even more impressive is the impact it had beyond the stat sheet. His explosive runs demoralized the Rams defense and opened up opportunities for the passing game. The threat of Barkley's rushing ability forced the Rams to commit more defenders to the box, creating favorable matchups for the Eagles receivers on the outside, and they took full advantage. While Barkley's rushing was the headline, the Eagles' offensive line deserves significant credit for their dominant performance. The line, consisting of Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, and Lane Johnson, played nearly every snap of the game and consistently created massive running lanes for Barkley. They allowed only 1 sack against the talented Rams defensive front, providing excellent protection for Jalen Hurts to have all day to throw and run back there. Hurts wasn't asked to do as much as usual because of Barkley's dominance, but he still had an efficient game. He completed 15 of 22 passes for 179 yards and a touchdown. His ability to manage the game and make smart decisions with the ball was a big part of maintaining the Eagles' control of the game. A.J. Brown continued his solid season, catching 6 passes for 109 yards and a touchdown. His ability to win one-on-one matchups against the Rams secondary was evident throughout the game. His touchdown catch that was initially ruled incomplete but was overturned upon review showed his insane body control and ability to concentrate with defenders draped all over him. On the defensive side, the Eagles' front 7 was relentless and kept attacking and applying pressure on Stafford. They recorded 5 sacks and really disrupted the Rams' offensive rhythm. Milton Williams had a standout performance with 2 sacks and a forced fumble. He really took advantage of the attention paid to star defensive tackles Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. And then the secondary? Man, the secondary of this Eagles team truly is remarkable. Their coverage has been impeccable, their playmaking has been otherworldly, their communication has been flawless, and this year's secondary compared to last year is night and day. Say goodbye to Kevin Byard, Bradley Robbie, and Justin Evans, among others. And welcome to Gene, Quinion Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers, and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Just like that, everything changed. Almost overnight, the Eagles have gone from one of the worst pass defenses to one of the best. And we all know the Eagles' offense isn't perfect. The defense has really steadied the ship and is the reason this team is 9-2. Only Reed Blankenship and Darius Slay are back from last year's main rotation. And even Slay has been on and off the field lately, replaced by Rodgers. Vic has everybody on the same page of what's required, what's expected, how he wants things to play versus different looks, Nick Sirianni said. I think that's such a big part. Obviously we're talented there, we have the talented players. The addition of the new guys we have, and Reed and Slay and Avante being the holdovers. But they've worked really hard to be on the same page. One of the easiest ways to get beat in the secondary, in my opinion, is not one-on-one matchups. One of the easiest ways to give up plays is when you're not all on the same page. Obviously, these guys have come in and are good football players, but then just constant work of being back there together as one. You know, the rookies, they have really flexed their muscles. With Q and Coop, it's just a nice mix, said Sirianni. Anyways, back to the recent win. One area where the Eagles excelled was their third down efficiency. They converted several critical third downs, including a 31-yard gain by Barkley that set up a Kenneth Gainwell touchdown run. Being able to extend drives and keep the Rams offense off the field as much as physically possible was crucial in maintaining their lead and wearing down the opposing defense. Looking ahead, this win sets the Eagles up well for their final stretch of the season and a potential deep playoff run. Their balanced attack on offense, with Barkley's explosive running complementing Hurts' ability to take off with his legs, along with his slowly improving passing game, makes them a nightmare for opposing defenses to game plan against. The continued development of their young defensive players, combined with the veteran leadership, gives them a formidable defense capable of slowing down even the most potent offenses. But losing Graham for the season definitely does suck, but he vowed to lead this team off the field now that he can't play. The next game against the Ravens on December 1st is going to be one for the ages. Whoever wins this game, I am really going to view as a contender. This is the time of year where teams show if they really are built for a run, or if the success is just a good story. The Eagles secondary is certainly going to be put to the test. Lamar can be one of the most frustrating players to defend in the league, and now with Derrick Henry, he just adds a whole nother dynamic to that offense that you have to think about. The Eagles offense is going to have to come in ready to score points. Saquon is going to have another huge game. AJ Brown is going to have over 100 yards. This is easily a game that I could see ending with a 35-34 score. And this is a matchup that we could see in the Super Bowl. Not to get that far ahead. Anyways, moving on to some recent news with this team. With Brandon Graham out for the season, the Eagles have claimed Charles Harris off the waivers. Harris was let go by the Panthers on Monday. He had 21 tackles, 3 sacks, and 7 quarterback hits in Carolina. He has 19.5 career sacks and had 10 for the Lions over the last 3 seasons. His history with Detroit led some to suggest he might land there. But since the Eagles were ahead in the waiver order, Harris is on his way to Philly. Outside of that, there's really not too much going on. The Eagles are just taking things week by week, and they really are in a spot where now they can just focus on winning without pressure every week. And if they continue to stack wins, they will have a great seed for the playoffs. It's crazy how much of a turnaround this season has been from the beginning where Nick Sirianni was taunting back at fans to where the team is now. Here's what some of the media and players have had to say as of late.
The Philadelphia Eagles now. Let's talk about it too much. What they did on primetime against the Los Angeles Rams, what Saquon Barkley has continued to do. Remember, we're a couple weeks removed from him jumping over somebody backwards. Okay, jumping over somebody backwards, and we think this guy's absurd. Now he goes for 255 rush yards.
Yeah.
This guy breaks some Philadelphia Eagles records that were set by LaShawn McCoy and all the greats of the past. This Philadelphia Eagles team might be the real deal, especially defense, huh, baby?
Definitely the real deal. Obviously, it always starts with the quarterback play. Jalen Hurts, after coming off that great year that he has, he's earned his money. Getting Saquon, but the defense, Fangio coming over there, started off struggling earlier in this season. Even if some of us in here were saying, hey, it might be Fangio over after what happened in Miami last year. So then, made some changes. Mitchell's been dynamic as a rookie corner on the outside. Put Cooper DeJean in the slot. He's been phenomenal at the nickel spot. You got your pieces on the back end, up front. The guys are dogs, linebackers. Everybody's on the same page defensive-wise. And that run game, like Stoutland University, those big boys up front, the moves that they made moving on even after, the great Jason Kelsey retired, they just pound you.
And you said, I don't want the Hemi again until my O-line gets some love. So let's start up front. How do you describe the job those men are doing for you?
Yeah, I mean, they're amazing. They make me look a lot better out there on the football field. But the biggest thing that I take away for those guys is, one, how smart they are and how versatile they are. Any scheme, anything, we can call it inside zone, outside zone, counter, traps. They do it all. They're so athletic.
That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.